Thank you especially for the people here on the council that do the business of the town. We ask you guide your hand in this meeting this evening and guide us all as we leave this place. In Jesus' name.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. This time, will we please have roll call?
Mayor Gary Moore.
Present.
City Attorney Darren Rice.
Here.
Alderman Terry Stahl.
Here.
Alderman Alan Marsh.
Here.
Alderman Dewey Eckleberry.
Here.
Alderman Eugene McGill.
Here.
Alderman Bruce McKibben.
Here.
Alderman Cheryl Eckleberry.
Here.
Alderman Clifford Reaver.
Here.
Alderman Cody Atterbury.
Here.
And that constitutes the quorum, so we can move on to the approval of the minutes that were included in your packet that you received. You've had a chance to review those minutes. If there are any corrections to the minutes? If there are none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as they are?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second it.
I have a motion by Stahl and a second by Marsh.
I have McKibben, but
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Anyone wish to abstain? Minutes are approved. Next would be the approval of the bills that were submitted for payment since the last meeting that we had. Is there any questions on any of the bills that were submitted for payment? If there are none, is there a motion to approve the bills?
Make that motion. Second it.
I have a motion by Alderman Dewey Eckleberry, seconded by Alderman Atterbury to approve paying the bills for this meeting. Roll call vote: Stahl.
Yes.
Atterbury.
Yes.
Dewey Eckleberry.
Yes.
Cheryl Eckleberry.
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
McKibben.
Yes.
Reaver.
Yes.
And the bills are approved. Next would be the public comment section of the meeting. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to address the council, I please ask that you raise your hand. I'll call you forward. You'll have 3 minutes to address the council. At this time, is there anybody that would like to address the council? Seeing none, we will close the public comment section and move into routine business. Item number 1 on the agenda for this evening is a resolution for a street closing request for the Fall Fun Fest. Again, this is just something that happens every year, and I believe those dates are September 14th or 13th through the 17th. Any questions on the street closure? And again, you know, we have talked with IDOT, and IDOT has assured us that they will not be in the area even if they have to move during the Fall Fun Fest. It looks like they're working on some of those projects as we speak. If there are no objections or questions for the street closure, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
We have a first by Alderman Dewey Eckleberry and a second by Eugene McGill. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Anyone wish to abstain? Street closure resolution is passed. Item number 2 is a request for a fund expenditure from the Recreational Committee. Libby has, they are trying to work on getting some entertainment for the Eclipse. So the Eclipse, the organization that Libby is working with, they are going to require a $2,500 deposit so that they can start talking with entertainers that would attend, our solar eclipse event. That is above the limit that I can approve individually. So we need the council to approve the expenditure of $2,500. And Libby, that was refundable, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So if we do not use it for the band that we have in mind, it will go to the next one.
Okay. So is there any discussion on the expenditures of $2,500 out of the Recreational Committee funds to secure hopefully some entertainment for the Eclipse? If there are none, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Clifford was first, Terry was second. Is that
Motion
true?
by Alderman Reaver, seconded by Alderman Stahl to approve the expenditure from the Recreation Fund in the amount of $2,500. Roll call vote: Atterbury,
Yes.
Dewey Eckleberry,
Yes.
Cheryl Eckleberry,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
McKibben,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
And that motion is approved. Item number 3 on the agenda is an ordinance amending section 51.18 of the code dealing with overflow garbage. I'll let Attorney Rice talk about this at this time.
A few months ago, it was passed, well, there was gonna be a $10 surcharge for, overflow garbage pickup service. In kind of, going through the code, there was a statement, or a provision that the rate, for yard waste pickup service was $5.50, was limited at that amount. And this would just clarify and basically reconcile the two sections so that it's not just, that we're not prohibited from changing it, but where it's gonna be allowed, the total amount of overflow garbage plus the yard waste would be $10, not just $5.50. It's kind of a, I don't wanna say bookkeeping, but it's a way to keep it consistent throughout the code. So I imagine you probably have some questions. I'll be happy to try to answer them. But basically, one section said $5.50, and you can't change it. And then we had another ordinance that was passed that said we're allowing $10 for the city to be able to pick up items.
And basically, it was just bringing those two sections into compliance with each other so that one didn't go against the other.
That's correct. Yeah, because that sometimes happens in the code where it'll say one thing and then you look somewhere else in the code and it appears to prohibit that, and that wasn't the intent of either time. So,
Are there any questions at the time for Attorney Rice on the clarification of the code? If there are none, is there a motion to approve the ordinance amending section 51.18?
I make that motion.
Dewey Eckleberry, second.
Second.
Bruce McKibben. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Anyone wish to abstain? Ordinance is passed. The next one is an ordinance making the intersection of Laurel Street a stop intersection. This is coming at the request of Alderman McKibben and Alderman Reaver. We had a resident that built a fence down on French Street, I believe, is that correct? And he encompassed, his side yard and his backyard. And there where French Street and Laurel kind of intersect, there's a yield sign there. And there was, I guess, a couple of instances where there might have been a crash. Not that it did happen. In talking with Chief Paul Glazier and Assistant Ben, they went down there and they viewed it. They've had one traffic accident at this intersection in the last 6 years. I know there was maybe some hopes that it would be turned into a four-way stop so that everybody would stop. But at the guidance of the Fairfield Police Department, I believe we're just going to take the stop signs. Is that correct, Chief? Come on up. And there's some pictures in your packets also.
So the intersection right now is a two-way yield for east and west. We're just proposing change of the stop sign to the same direction of traffic.
And Keith has made mention, I think there might have been some hope from, that it became a four-way stop, but they will monitor that. Keith's got some sticks that he can put down there to see what kind of traffic, is going through there. And that if it dictates to change that to a four-way stop, he will bring that recommendation back.
So the stop signs will be both on French?
Yes. Coming off Lakeview, you got a half a block before you have stop again. So I think that just the two lanes will be fine for now.
Questions?
I think the issue was coming south, the traffic coming south, since the fence has been put up, it's hard to see now.
south, you're coming from the south going north, you're fine, you got clear view.
Right, but going, heading south.
Going north to south.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think you put that stop sign on French, I think that'll take care of it. I mean, it's not a highly traveled road.
Okay.
Everybody thinks everything's high volume, but with one crash in 6 years, I think the stop signs will suffice for now.
Any other questions for Chief on this particular one? Any other discussion about the proposed change to take it from a yield to a stop on French Street? If there are none, is there a motion to approve the ordinance changing it from a yield to a two-way stop?
I'll make that motion.
Alderman Cheryl Eckleberry with the first,
I'll say.
Alan Marsh with a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Anyone wish to abstain? The ordinance has passed. The next item, number 4, is just a discussion, kind of updating the code of the yield of the intersections. In our code books that we are given, there's a couple of, in the back, it lists every stop sign, every yield sign, and so Chief Callclaser has some recommendations there as he went around, and him and Assistant Chief Lewis looked at every yield sign that the city has. And this here is just a discussion. Again, it's eventually I think we're going to need to bring the code book into alliance with what's there. But we'll discuss that, and if everybody's in agreement, we'll have Attorney Rice have this ready for the next meeting. Chief? And you've got, again, you have in your package, you have a list of all of the signs.
Alderman Reaver and I have discussed this for a couple of years now concerning yield signs. We thought we had like less than 5 in the city. Turns out there are 27 listed in the code book, with only 3 of them being yield intersections that are left. Everything else are stop signs. They've been changed. We just changed one more, so now we're down to 2. However, when I was going to propose to switch those to stop signs, we found 13 others that are not listed in the book. So I listed all those in the direction of travel in your letter. Like I said, at first we were just going to get rid of yield intersections because there was very few. But I think with 15, you may leave that section in there, but that's kind of your guys' call. But the list does need to be updated.
So there are 13 additional yield signs out there that are not identified in the code book.
Yeah, for a total of 15.
Okay, so for a total of 15. So with the council's approval, Attorney Rice will draw up, I believe it's Schedule 2 is maybe how it's coded, is that right? Schedule 3. So basically we're just going to make the correction to the code book so that the code book actually mirrors what's on the street. Any questions or any thoughts or concerns? Okay. This is just a discussion item, so unless the council wants to voice a displeasure, we will instruct Attorney Rice to go ahead and make the corrections as needed, and we will approve it.
Do you have any problem with any of these yield signs being?
No, majority of them are in Kincaid Acres. Lakeview, we got one by the police department on Center and Vinegar. Like I said, if we had less than 5, I would have changed them all.
Okay.
But since we have 15, I brought it to you guys.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so we have next council meeting, Attorney Rice will have us something to vote on to bring the signage in line with the book. This will bring us to the last item on the routine business, and this is to seek bids for fencing around the new water tower. We need to there is a partial fence that is there. It looks like it's probably about maybe half, but we, for number one, for safety reasons, we need to enclose that new water tower. You know, for safety, we don't want anybody doing anything that's foolish, and we don't want anything on the water tower that shouldn't be on the water tower except paint, and that would be white paint. So I would like the council to approve to seek bids for the fence, and you know, there is a fence that is, again, I'm gonna say half there, and I would just recommend, you know, that we seek bids to match what is there, but get the new water tower enclosed. Coles from the water department, I mean, does that seem?
Yeah, I mean, I think the other fence is in decent shape, one we've got existing already, so.
So we're just gonna tie on and close it all in one area?
Yes, you know, so the new water tower and the 1-million-gallon ground tank will all be enclosed in one fence. You know, and I'm sure our insurance would like that, would like that to be done anyway. So, we'll have Attorney Rice and Tina post the bidding process for the fence. Is that something that we feel we should give a little ample time, maybe the last meeting, have it for the last meeting in August? Would that be okay?
It would be better to have an extra.
You agree? Yes, sir. Okay, so we'll have it so that we will have a bid opening on the last meeting, council meeting in August, for the proposal of the fencing of the water tower. That will conclude the routine business, the financial report. We will not have that until the first month. We'll kind of move on to miscellaneous. Chief Cauclaser has given me a letter. They're getting, you want to talk about this just a little bit? And then I've got a letter to read.
So we have participated in the LESO program, and maybe the surplus vehicles and everything the city has from the military and the federal government, state of Illinois. So like your camouflage trucks, we have the Humvees that we painted up for the parades. We renewed our contract with the state to look at that stuff. It is free of charge for us. A new requirement of the Safety Act is we have to publicly announce our intentions. If we do find something we request, we have to let the public body, governing body know. So I prepared a letter for the mayor to speak about, and we can post it at City Hall or wherever. Not saying we're getting anything, it just gives us the permission to look.
And this will be, I will get with Claire, and it will be posted on the city website. But basically, just what this letter states is it's a notification to the civilian governing body and local community. It says on May the 25th in 2022, Presidential Executive Order 14074, advancing effective accountability, policing, and criminal justice practices to enhance public trust and public safety was signed. In accordance with the Executive Order 14070, state, tribal, local, and territorial law enforcement agencies, LEAs, must, number one, notify the civilian governing body, i.e. city council, county government, or local government body, of its intent to request property from the federal sources, to include federal funds or grants. And number two, to notify the local community of its request for property transfers, purchases from federal funds, agencies, or subcontractors, including existing transfer contracts or grants. The Fairfield Police Department may request the attached controlled property items from the Law Enforcement Support Office, LESO, or other federal source. Pursuant to Executive Order 14074, Section 12, this memo fulfills the requirements to notify the civilian governing body and the local governing of my agency's intent to request the controlled property items identified in the attached list. Respectfully, Keith A. Cauclaser, Chief of Police. Attached is quite a long letter of things that they might asked for. I'm not going to read them individually, but when we post them on the city's website, that will fulfill our requirements. And basically, I mean, it's flashlights, floodlights, night vision, I mean, stuff that the police department would use, but it will be posted on the city's website. Any questions on that? So we've kind of fulfilled our duties there. The only other thing I'll say, you know, is this week's going to be hot and humid. You know, if you got loved one or pets, please check in on them. Make sure that everybody is safe. Do any aldermen have anything that they would like to discuss in miscellaneous comments?
I think I remember the power plant bid is opening next meeting, I believe.
Well,
We're working on that.
we're working on it.
Okay.
There's basically we're kind of looking at what property line to get with that. When it was first, it was kind of all over the place, so we're trying to pin it down to this is exactly what you're going to get, because that was some of the questions that we were asked is, you know, what property is included.
All right, well, I was just wanting to remind the press.
Right.
Put it out again that there were some two bids.
Anybody else have anything in miscellaneous comments?
How's the reservoir connection coming along?
The reservoir, there will be a public meeting in August. You know, I've been working behind the scenes with the Department of Natural Resources and a couple of others. They have worked with a company and actually have some financial guidelines that will not only include the lakeside, but will also include Johnson Creek, the drainage. August the 10th, there is going to be what is called a stakeholders meeting, which would be the city of Fairfield, the Wayne County, the townships, and they will be here. DNR will be here. The federal agency will be here. After that meeting, there will be a public comment, a public session held to accept comments from the public. On the city's webpage, I did have Claire Vaughn, you know, post a letter of this is kind of what we're looking at, and it actually showed a picture of the Johnson Creek and the flood division. You know, I don't want to get too excited, but you know, I feel that we're very close to being able to redo that dam and hopefully put some water back in Lakeside. You know, it's you know, it's a landmark for the city. It was there when I was young. It needs to be brought back. You know, we are slowly making progress. You know, when Mayor Dreeth was here, I believe it was Ivan Dozier was here, and you know, Ivan has retired, but I'm now talking with Anita Aarons. You know, we are continuing to step forward to that being, you know, hopefully a positive announcement that, you know, that it's coming back to town. So
Thank you, Mayor.
you're welcome. Any other questions? If there are no others, that will conclude this evening's meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
Dewey Eccleberry, second by Eugene McGill. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Anyone wish to abstain? Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much for your attendance.